Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Podcast. I'm your host, Catmanjoe, and I'm joined here once again by none other than the cynic himself, Mr. MaskedCynic.
Hi.
See, Joe, that's the part where you're meant to cut yourself in, going hi, hello, whatever, you know.
I literally just did.
Today, we're delighted to be joined once again by not only an old-time friend of ours, but also a former legacy guest. When he originally joined us back for episode 9 of our show, he was a young teenager who was experiencing the struggling lows that come after the massive highs. He was a crack addict. Struggling low after the massive high. I hope people understand what I'm saying in that sentence, that I'm not just saying that he was like a crack addict. When he originally joined us on episode 9 of our show, he was a young teenager who was experiencing the struggling lows that come after the massive highs. However, behind the scenes, he was struggling with something far more serious and challenging, that being, of course, his weight. Since then, he struggled with consistency on YouTube, but in his personal life, he succeeded in enormous ways, losing over 100 pounds, getting an amazing job, and finding hobbies that he loves. So today, we'll be talking about all of this and much more. So please give a very warm welcome to ItsTrey, or of course, as we know him, Trey. Trey, thanks for coming on the show and joining us, man. It's great to have you here, of course. Trey is joining us from a mobile setup at the minute. He's not on a PC, so as a bit of a heads up in case anyone was like, that's a very interesting angle to have your camera, all things considered. Just a very interesting way to look.
Very intimate.
Yeah, very intimate indeed.
I like looking down on you, man.
Yeah, that's what it be. That's what it be, bro. 100%, man. It's good to see you, Lud. It's good to have you on. It's mad. We were just talking about this before we started recording just a minute ago. It's been 5 years since you last joined us. A lot has changed for you, for us, all of us. It's kind of crazy to say it loud. It makes me feel old saying 5 years. I'm 25.
Yeah, dude. I think I was in like high school.
Yeah, man. I mean, how old are you now, Trey? If you don't mind me asking, because obviously
I'm 22 right now.
You would have been what, 17? Holy shit! When you joined us,
Yeah.
I would have been what,
That's
16
crazy.
then.
Yeah, that's kind of mad, and I'm 25, boys. I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? Next time we have a catch up, if it's 5 years again, I'll be in my 30s. You know what I'm saying, boys? I'm
We're
going
gonna have
already.
kids and a family by then.
Yeah, man. Don't
Little
jinx
What,
backyard
by
it.
barbecue.
26 you think I'm having kids? You are mad.
Joe, you'll be fine, Joe. Joe, you'll be fine. I'll be the elderly one. But no, Trey, it's great to have you on here, man. You are our final guest for this season for what we're doing with the Forgotten Podcast. Obviously, that you're episode 59. It's been 50 episodes since you came on.
Wow.
And you're the final. No, dude, it's great to have you on. It was you, Zebrus, and Septic Spotter Bradley, who I know you know those guys somewhat.
Yeah.
This was like kind of part of our remake of the original episodes, and it was great because we really wanted to have you on in general because you're one of the few people that we still somewhat keep in contact or even know. A lot of the people from the old days of YouTube are gone,
Vanished.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
They disappeared. I know that Lock Dot's still around, which is quite great to see.
Lock, he's my boy, dude.
Dude,
Me
I
and
love
Lock Dot
Lock,
are
man.
like good.
He
Me and
is
Lock Dot
my
were like
favorite
this for a
landlord.
while.
Yeah, man, dude. Look, I love him, man. He's such a lovely person at heart. Like he really is. Like straight up, he's a lovely, genuine human being. And I like we had him on the show for I think Joe was it 23 or something. Like he came on way back
Something like
now.
that.
And
It was a
know
very
such
memorable episode, though.
He was
I
a
love
funny
that.
and amazing guy. God love him because it was like our first kind of conversation, me and him, and he was just such a great guy. And it's good to see he's still doing YouTube, and we've already talked about it before in a few episodes now. Like it's mad. We kind of have this kind of weird. I don't know if you've heard this straight at all, but you wouldn't have because it's kind of like a relatively weird new thing that's been brought up. Feds mentioned it in his episode. There's an ongoing meme about like the TFP curse, which is like where anybody comes on the show doesn't die,
Their channel
but
dies.
the channal dies or they leave and they disappear, and we're like fucking hell. Like
It's the conclusion, man. It's the goodbye, you know.
Dude, that's
Hey, I
what
get
it
to
be.
You
say I've
get
been on a
invited
podcast.
on, it's basically
Yeah.
like an omen. An omen of death.
From the original 10 episodes, because you know the first 3 or 4, the first 4 were like just me, Joe, and Brad all sitting there just chatting. Episode 5, super shiftery. I'm sure you remember shiftery, you know, from way back. I know you and shiftery had a bit of like a weird beef. Like,
I was gonna say I don't remember.
Shiftery.
I remember his name. I remember not liking him. I don't remember why.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember
He
not
stole.
liking him.
He stole he was stealing people's content and ideas, and I think this was like 2018 when you were at like the pinnacle when you'd get like 1 million views in a month and we're like killing
That's
it
ironic,
analytic
yeah.
wise. And it and he was like he was being a bit of a dick, and we all call him shit. He's quit YouTube though. Ted with Teddy. She's quite her channel.
I think
She's
you
got
mean
her
that's
channel.
the Giant Crew.
The Giant, oh, sorry,
not
the
Ted
Giant crew,
Woodley.
yeah, the J123 crew.
Man,
And
it's
then
nostalgic,
obviously,
man.
yeah, Zebras,
Yeah.
he kind of quit. He's still around now. Thankfully, he's coming back a little bit, but he's here and there. Just
If he
real
doesn't
life,
kill
he's
us.
growing up. If he doesn't
There's
kill
been
us,
so much
yeah,
slander.
with him. And then Purple Wither, he's gone. I'd never heard from him since
Dude,
he
you're
last
saying all
joined
these
us.
names, and it's just like,
Yeah,
you
man,
know,
just
like
people, dude.
brings me
It's
to another
mad.
time. You know what
Just
brings
all
me
these
to?
people gone. Go
It
ahead.
brings me to Firestone.
Oh, dude, man, yeah, bro, fucking hell, man. That's a whole other thing right there in itself.
I remember
Jesus
staying up
Christ.
at 3 a.m. building a house.
It was
For me, it would
mainly
be 3 a.m. Yeah.
overshadowed by Oakstone.
Well, yeah. My oaks a little bit, smudge, just a smudge. You know what I'm saying, just a smudge. It's mad to think though where all of us have came in 5 years. I'm really glad to be
Man down.
professionalism at
Man
its
down.
finest. You know what I'm saying?
After was like, look how far we've come in 5 years.
Yeah, Trey's just bye. See you later. Well, I mean, I gotta ask Trey, how are you, man? How are things? Like, fuck, we're chatting about us and all this shit. How are you, man?
It's all good, man. Dude, life's changed in the last 5 years, like all over the board. You know, leaving school, going to a full-time job. I got really into fitness. I'm not sure if you've seen my physical 5 years ago, but at my highest weight, I was 372 pounds, and I was able to lose around 160, 70 pounds. And fitness kind of took into my life, dude. Like it was the thing I was looking forward to every day. And it's ironic because right now life is like a up down roller coaster because I got to a really happy point where I wanted, and I still wanted to build more muscle and stuff. And I was happy with my life balance of a little bit of video game time, work time, gym time, hanging out with my girlfriend on the weekends. Like I had a perfect everyday set schedule.
Yeah.
Which I love that, dude. I love, like, I know what I'm going to do by 2 p.m., you know?
Yeah. You like a bit of a routine and kind of an actual bit of order.
Yeah, so that was going great for a while, and I had a big accident. I broke my arm, and it's in a huge cast right now under my hoodie. You know, honestly, when we started this podcast, I wasn't sure if I needed a face cam or not, and I'm like, oh, I literally went to throw on a shirt, and I'm like, okay, here we go. You know,
just gonna go in there topless.
Yeah.
You know, like no. I mean, I suppose if the face cam wasn't on, be topless. No one's gonna judge.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having face cam on because obviously we were just mentioning as well. Like on episode 9 originally, we didn't have any face cams. That was before we'd even started using the PlayStation 4 cameras, which is something we've done for a few episodes, and then eventually webcams and stuff. But it's so great to be able to have you, like, you know, obviously of course being able to be seen, because although you didn't get to be seen in that episode, like you have gone through a massive physical change. Of course, like you said, you got very into the gym. Was it not? And please correct me if I'm wrong here. Was it like 4 years? Was it not? You spent like going to the gym
Actually, a little 2.5.
Was it 2.5? Okay,
Yeah,
fuck, right.
Coming on 3, yeah.
Right, coming on 3, fuck, right. And you just went hard at the gym and been cutting weight and lifting
Well,
weights
here's the
and
thing,
doing
you
stuff.
know, coming from an obese family, like, and being obese my whole life, we've always, I've always tried to lose weight. I've always like, you know what, I'm gonna put on the sauna suit, I'm gonna go run outside for an hour, and then I lose the interest and I lose the drive, you know, like it's hard.
Yeah,
Because it's consistency. You know, it's just kind of like
That's it.
YouTube. It's consistency. It's not a, you know, I'll give it all today and it'll fall off tomorrow. You know, you could work your ass off today and tomorrow you won't lose. You'll gain a pound somehow, you know?
Yeah,
But
it happens. Exactly.
the thing that actually motivated me was building muscle. Like me and my 2 best friends, they are like, oh, let's go to the gym together, and we all signed up the same day, and we were just lifting weights, not even cardio, and you know, it's just little kids out of high school, like, you know, let's get buff, you know, let's get ripped. So I was hitting the gym for like 2 weeks, and I felt the difference in my arm, but you can't see it, you know, and that
you just feel stronger.
Yeah, that connection of like, I'm building muscle, but I can't see it. And somehow that's the thing that motivated me, because I wanted to see the muscle. And that's all I needed, you know, like to get that consistency, because it's not just losing weight now. Now it's building muscle and losing weight.
Yeah,
and,
a bit of both kind of thing.
Crazy thing is, I actually almost did no cardio to lose all my weight. My biggest secret, like, dude, I've never touched I've touched the treadmill at the gym probably under 50 times, you know.
Wow, fuck, man.
My biggest secret is tuna. Dude, I love tuna. I eat tuna, when I was like losing all the weight, lunch and dinner, because it's extremely high in protein, but extremely low in calories.
What? So you can eat it and it'll fill you up, but you're getting all the protein you need.
Exactly. You can eat 3 cans of tuna and it's only 300 calories, and it will fill you up.
That is a different diet. I think that would kill me.
Let's not talk about the mercury, okay?
I was about to say, isn't there like there's a small trace amount of mercury in tuna, like very small.
Trade-off: you get fucking poisoned.
But you get reps.
Exactly.
You know when you eat stuff in Fallout 4?
Die.
That's what this is.
Yeah. You get
contracting
every
rads.
time. That's what it is. Yeah, radiation.
Yeah, no, but I've talked to professional influencers, and everybody told me like, you shouldn't. It's not really smart, you know. But to be fair, I've been doing it for 2 years and I look fine. But like,
Bro,
I
it's
know.
working for you, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
You know what I mean, bro?
I've
Like,
got
what
my
can be
blood
said?
tested and everything, and my levels are fine. And
It's worked for 2 years, but there will be no more than 2 years.
Oh no, don't say that, dude.
Or
Don't
for
don't
2
fucking
years, you
say
live
that.
to 30. Yeah.
Dude. Oh gosh, man. I mean, what if you don't mind me asking, what happened with the arm? What was the accident? What happened with that?
Oh,
'Cause
dude.
obviously
So that's the
relatively
whole
recent.
story. We can get into it if you want.
Bro, I'm game.
Okay.
We're all here. Let's
So here we go. So ironically, on March 29th was my last day of work, right? It was a Friday.
Right.
My company, I work at Jelly Belly. I didn't know if you know that. I make
No.
jelly beans.
Oh, that's
I
cool as
was the
shit.
lead of production. I was the lead of the production that made sure all the jelly beans got distributed between America. My factory does America. But I wanted to be an operator again because honestly, I wasn't really happy doing paperwork. I wanted to be like
Right.
down in the mud again, you know, actually making the candy. And it's fun. We add 4 cups of syrup, 4 cups of flavor, adding wax, glaze, all the different dye. Like it's actually fun. There's these big spinning cement barrels that hold 350 pounds each. We do 10 of them at a time, so we're running 3,500 pounds. And you got to scoop it out with the butt. Okay. Okay.
I can't wait for this to become a running thing. I really can't. We're gonna have to have a compilation of how many times
Let
this
me
will happen.
mute my There we go. Beep, beep, beep.
You're good. You're,
Is that
it
okay?
notifications? Yeah, you're all good. You're all
Yeah,
good.
notification. That's what got me. So we're running 350 pounds per cement barrel, and we run 10 at a time. You got to scoop it out with a bucket, like manually. You got to
Jeez,
put it in
man.
and take it out. So it's actually a lot of you don't think jelly beans cause that much manual labor, but
No, but yeah, there's a lot going on there.
yeah, no, but that job actually really helped me lose weight too, because I guess that's my cardio, you know. Like I was doing
So
that.
the diet is jelly
It is.
babies and tuna.
Dude, how much jelly beans I eat is atrocious. I'll admit it. But yeah, so it was my
Oh.
last day of work because our company goes into factory shutdown every year. So we shut down from either like 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And
Right.
usually, depending how long you've been there, full of it's paid, half of it's paid, you know, whatever. Mine was
yeah,
paid because I've been there for over 2 years. It was my first day of shutdown, right? And like I said earlier, I go to my girlfriend's house on a weekend, so it's a Friday. Right after work, I get in my car, pack my things in my home, and then go to my girlfriend's house. And she actually lives almost 2 hours away from me right now because she's getting her
Oh, wow.
master's degree in a college further out. It hasn't always been like that, but you know, she's getting her master's degree out
It's
there.
just how it is at the moment, kind of thing.
Yeah, for
yeah.
she only has like a year program, and it's actually ending up in May right now. But I get up there, right, and she's saying, my girlfriend's Filipino, like, oh, we're having a Filipino club. People are just having you know, fun. I know a lot of them. We've hung out with them before. We're just gonna drink, play games, you know, a little. It's like a little friend party, but not like a real party, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I seem like such an obnoxious type, but when we get there, I drink, and when I drink, I get really pause, hear me out. Okay, I get really like physical, like I want to do something, like let's do something, you know, like I want to like I want to run, I want to go
Oh right.
out.
Oh
and push
okay.
it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
wanna
like
move,
something
Probably
like
the
that,
term
you
"let's
know?
get physical" is not great when you're drunk.
What's the word to say? You know what? How do I pronounce that? You know?
No, I get you.
Yeah. So you know, I'm having fun, and this is actually like I was at a really good fitness point. Like I've been doing strength training instead of endurance training, and I'm kind of really feeling myself. And I see this really strong, shorter guy, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you want to arm wrestle? Like, you look really strong.
Oh
You look
no.
really strong, dude. Like no beef, no shade, no hate. You know,
Yeah,
like
just some fun.
let's just have fun. You know." So we get onto the roof because there's like a little balcony on the roof, kind of fancy. It's in a fancy apartment, yeah. And you know, we go on the ledge, and we're going. And I'm like 3, 2, 1, and dude, I've never in my life had such a long arm wrestle
We're just
where
endlessly both going at it.
we
kind of
were
thing.
like people were watching, and then people were pulling out recording because we were going at it, just holding still for about like 40 seconds. And dude, it's a
Right.
long 40 seconds.
That's
you
a
know, just
long
sitting
time.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to add quickly though as well. It feels like I've been spoiled of the ending.
yeah.
Hold up.
I can tell where this is going, but I'm waiting to hear the punchline here. Holy shit.
So you lost.
Yeah. So dude, I'll keep it real. I'm like 10 inches. Okay. Did you hear that, or did you want me to try to put my phone do not disturb? Is that okay?
No, I heard you.
No, we didn't hear that.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry, my notifications. I'm like, damn, I didn't think
Oh,
about
no,
that. You know?
you're fine. You're all good, bro.
Yeah.
You're good.
So I'll admit, you know, I'm like 10 inches taller than this dude, a lot bigger, probably another 60 pounds on him. And we're going with the right hand. We're going for like 40, 50 seconds, and he's getting me, and he got me.
Oh.
And my arm, you know, it's okay. You know, we're okay so far.
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
arm's okay, you know. And I'm like, you know what? I'm left-handed. Let's do it. You know, how much people in this world are left-handed? So I got this. You know, I'm left-handed. Nobody's left-handed. I'm strong with my left
stronger in
arm.
one.
I should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
able to
yeah.
get anybody with it, you know, right? So we're going at it. I'm like, rematch. Come on, man. Let's do it. He's like, yeah, that was a good fight. And we're at the left arm. And we're going at it, dude. And we're going and going and going. And this thing is just dragging on, right? So I have the video on my phone. The video is about like a minute and 20 seconds long.
Right.
And we're just going, going, going. And someone says, push, Maddie, push. His name's Maddie or Matthew.
Right.
The push, push. And you see my hand just slightly moving, like slightly moving. And we're like in the middle. And you hear, and my whole arm moved and lift out from underneath. And now in the
Oh,
moment,
fuck.
I thought somebody came up and slapped the back of my arm. I thought
Right,
someone
right.
was like trying to help him, you know, like intrude.
Yeah.
And like I
yeah.
thought someone slapped my arm. I literally turned around and said, like, what the hell? And then when I turned around, my arm was dangling.
Just all floppy. Yeah,
It
it's
was
fucking
floppy.
snapped. Dude,
And like the
yeah.
adrenaline in the moment, I didn't realize my arm was broken. And then I looked down and then like someone's like, dude, I think your arm's broken. And
Nah, it just does this, mate.
It just does this from time to time. Dude,
Mind you, everybody's under the
oh.
influence of alcohol, you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm trying with every might of my body just to do this, you know, like to pick up my
Yeah.
arm, and it's not doing. And mind you, I never broke a
Fuck.
bone before, you know.
Right.
So yeah, dude, that was rough. And like the moment, I'm like, okay.
What was the guy's
let me-
reaction to this? Like,
yeah,
So
like,
here's
dude,
the
how
thing:
was
I have it on
he?
recording. The
Right,
dude
yeah.
was devastated, and I'm gonna be honest, he was such a sweet guy, like super nice, super calm, and you could see like that every second reaction of his face going like he was like
Yeah.
he came up to me, he's like, dude, I'm so fucking
It was
sorry.
not intentional.
Yeah,
it was,
like exactly. He's like, I am so fucking sorry.
yeah.
And funny thing is, I never met this guy before until now. And also, funny thing is, didn't know he was a professional rock climber. Now you know these fuckers grip straight, right?
Bro, you were set up there, bro. You were
I'm
fucking
telling
set
you,
up,
dude.
bro.
You
He
arm
looked like
wrestled a
Jackie
boulder.
Chan. He looked like Jackie Chan under his fucking jacket, bro. Like
yeah, man.
ripped.
Sleeper build, man. Mad sleeper build.
Ripped, dude.
Like, yeah.
And
No.
Joe or Finn too, if you want to see it, I have the video. If you guys would like
Yeah.
to see it later, I could
Dude,
show you. I'm not sure if you want to see the arm break.
No, definitely after the recording. I'm
Yeah,
not too bothered about gruesome stuff, but I definitely
neither
want to
am
see
I.
that shit's
I
mad.
just, I know I definitely
Yeah.
can't show it here, can I?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't show it on
no,
YouTube,
no.
but like for sure behind closed doors.
Dude, my
that'd be a
dad's like,
good
upload it to YouTube, it'll go viral. I'm
No,
like,
No, you'll get banned.
No, you will get
No.
shit for that. Like,
yeah,
low-
exactly.
low-key.
So my channel will get deleted, dude, and that's not, you know.
Dude. So at the moment, I guess since then, obviously, how long was that? How long ago was that? Excuse me.
So that was on March 29th, dude, and it's
March
been
29th.
3-4
fuck.
weeks.
Jeez,
So-
man. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to do naturally when your arm breaks, they give you about 7 to 10 days, and then they want to X-ray it again and see. Oh well, I'll fast forward the end of the story. So my arm breaks, and then I'm like, damn, America, dude, we cannot pay for these expensive bills.
Oh my god.
I
yeah,
had
holy
to-
Shit, man.
Dude, I had to Uber to the ER. Like I didn't want to like because the
Call an
ambulance
ambulance.
is
Yeah.
$3,000 to $5,000. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, dude. I have a car, or I have, I have
No,
Uber
no.
that'll cost $20, you know. So I take a 40-minute
That's so
Uber drive.
dystopian.
The Uber's death, dude. The Uber's death, and he has a dog with him. And just to make the night like he's in a kind, respectful way, but he's trying to communicate with me about
Yeah.
my arm, and. He's like, can you say that louder? Can you say that louder? Because he said he only has like 10% hearing. So I'm over here in the
Right.
back seat holding my broken arm. I
Oh,
was
no,
arm
dude.
wrestling. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
you're in
like-
pain. Just like, listen, I just need to get to the fucking
Yeah.
ER. But like, all right, I broke my arm. Like, you're trying to fucking.
I was
speak
having
over
to
this
yell
guy.
in the back seat about my broken arm. Like, and then we get to the ER. And long night, dude. I was at the ER for about 6-7 hours, and
Oh,
this was,
man.
mind you, at 1 a.m. So it's sun's coming out at 6 a.m. But wait, why did I fast forward this? The recovery.
You're
So
good.
usually after the ER, they give you 7 to 10 days, and they want to see if it will heal by itself, if the bones will stay naturally aligned. Because
Mhm.
right now, like the bones are slightly mislapped, so I can't use my other hand because it's broken. I try to lift
Right.
it up, but I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
But they're slightly misaligned, and they give it 10 days, and then after that, they do an X-ray to see if it's still aligned. If it's completely misaligned and it's not just wanting to stay still, then you have to get a surgery, and you have to get like a Winter Soldier arm. You know, they got to put a
Oh
metal plate
gosh.
with plates in it to basically force the bone to stay lined up.
To knit together kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when I got the X-rays in 10 days, dude, the bone was like 3 inches to the right. Like it was like completely like it
No.
it was in a
Yeah.
whole nother room, dude. Like it was that shit
Its
was like
appointment was 10 minutes later.
Oh
yeah,
no, dude, that's no good at all, man. So in this position now, I'm guessing you can't use the hand, obviously. Like it's
Yeah,
just
dude, it's no like
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I got lucky because a lot of people that break their arms, they actually lose nerve, like they get nerve damage,
Wow.
and they can't move their hands. Now, luckily, my hand still completely rotates. Worse, I still have my nerves working.
Yeah,
Granted, I can't
yeah.
move my forearm or my
No,
my
no, because
bicep,
that needs to be yeah,
but I can
locked in
still
place.
game. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So thank
Oh,
God there.
dude, that is rough, man. So I'm guessing since then I can imagine you being a bit of a rut, obviously, because like you can't, I presume, go to the gym and can't really do too much at the
Yeah,
gym and
so
really like that kind of stuff.
it completely flipped my life upside down because my favorite thing now was the gym. My vacation just started. You know, I was about to go start doing all these things, have a
Oh,
fun time.
bro,
First day
yeah.
of vacation, arm breaks. I got to file for disability. I have to tell my job I'm not going to be able to come back in 2 weeks. That this recovery, I was told, could take from anywhere from 3 months to a year. He's like the best
Jesus.
case scenario 3 months. The average case scenario is 6 to 8. And like if you're
Bro,
old, usually if you're older, like a really bad time up to a year.
dude, that
And
is rough, man.
yeah, so they put a big old cast on me. They told me don't get it wet. You know, when you have to shower, put a bag over it, or
Yeah,
you know, do
yeah.
like a sponge bath or something. So 2 weeks later, they had me do 2 weeks after that, and my surgery's coming up, right? So we have the pre-op, which basically they check us in. They put IVs in my arm, and then they fill me with drugs, and then they give me the good stuff and go me like anesthesia, right? Pass out. So I go to sleep, you know, or they wheel me in the surgery room, big fancy room. They put the anesthesia, lights out, you know, knocks out.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wake up in the recovery room, and the nurse is like, "Hey, sweetie, we didn't do the surgery on you," and I'm like,
What?
"Dude, like, you just put me under, like, put all these needles in me, like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And they said when they took my cast off in the emergency room, it grew in an infection, and my arm is like a whole different color.
Oh my God, fucking
And like,
hell,
dude,
man.
to put the fucking cherry on top, you know, like oh, it can't get worse, you know, you can't.
They
Yeah,
brought the guy
exactly.
back to do another arm wrestle.
Yeah, yeah, you know, like
Well, you know what's funny? I was so close to going back to the party the next night and arm wrestling with my other arm. I'm
oh
like, you
no,
got to sign my
dude,
cast, the guy
no,
that broke
no. Yeah, 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 of
it.
course.
Yeah, dude. So it's been rough, and since that appointment of the infection, they gave me antibiotics. They gave me a lot of drugs. I'll admit, hey, you know they're legal, but
Yeah, 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 it's all fine. Prescription.
it's been 2 weeks since then, and today's the determining factor if the infection's gone enough, and it looks 80 times better. You know, it
Right,
looks a lot
right.
better. It's still a little discolored, but like it looks natural now. Like before, dude,
Yeah.
it was like fuck. You know.
Oh, bro.
So today's the
Oh,
big day. You know, today's the big day where they decide if it's going to be ready for surgery, if I got to wait more weeks for antibiotics and stuff. So
dude, man.
yeah,
Well, hopefully, I mean, obviously, again, man, hopefully the fucking recovery goes well, and hopefully today you get some good news and things just start moving in the right direction. Because yeah, that's gonna suck, man. 3 months being, even if it's like the early kind of stage, three
yeah,
months
yeah.
being out of the game, being able to like go, go to the gym or enjoy yourself as much as
And
you'd
then
like to and stuff,
also my job is saying my
sucks.
position's only protected for 3 to 4 months. Like they're
Oh
saying
man.
my job is protected for a year. That's like the law. But
Right.
my
Okay.
position, like my actual
Where you're at.
high pain position is only protected for 3 to 4 months, which I'm bound to
Fuck,
lose.
man.
And they're legally obligated to give me a job, but it could be like
Low
janitor, you
end.
know,
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
like, yeah. So
Dude, hopefully you can get like somewhat recovered within the 3 months, or like even to an
yeah,
extent where like you're able to go back to work or something, and it ends up working out, man. But gosh, I can imagine that. Yeah, like you said, just flipped your entire life upside down in a matter of
yeah.
a night, which is kind of crazy how
And then I
fast
can't
things
do
can
like
change.
with the arm broken when I walk, you don't really think about it, but if you put your arm to your chest and then you
Yeah.
walk, your arm kind of flaps, right?
Oh,
Because
of
it's
course,
like
it
hitting
can
against the
lose, man.
stomach.
It lose. Yeah, of
And then
course, of
I
course.
feel the bone click because it's not connected, right? Because it's moving. So
Oh,
walking hurts.
fuck, man.
Walking hurts. I can't go to the gym. I can't pick it up with my arm, and life just completely flipped, you know, like me being at
Yeah.
my highest, like in a really high paid position, really happy with my body and all this. In a matter of just one night, just playing around arm wrestling, it just
Everything's just went
completely
down.
flipped over.
Yeah,
So
man.
like
Yeah.
I'm not proud to admit, but you know, I'm not scared to say, dude, I've been injured for a month and I've already gained like 25 pounds. And
Wow,
it's
man.
like
Wow.
just because I can't move, I can't do anything, you know, and it's like it's just the
Yeah,
setback.
man. It
So
is. It's just a bummer, man. It's a real
yeah.
bummer. I can imagine for you, bro. But the end of the day, man, you got to recover. You got to just let it recover, do its thing. I guess you could still, you know, because like you said, you can still obviously move around, of course, but it's going to be moving the bone, of course, quite a bit. Hopefully, if you get this plate put in and get the, you know, the
It
arm
will
in
keep
terms
it.
of recovery,
Yeah. That's when
yeah,
like
you could at least.
recovery starts.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could at least even still do say cardio to like kind of like you know
Yeah.
make sure like you're maintaining a certain amount of weight, for example, or what other types of workouts you can maybe do. But then again, also you can't really do too much upper body, I can imagine, because
Not no,
of
yeah,
one
no.
arm.
I
You
mean, I can
can't.
do one arm, but I'm gonna look
Yeah,
like that.
that's what I was about to say.
That Peter Griffin
Popeye.
meme, not Peter
Yeah,
Griffin.
you can't. Yeah, yes, yeah, fucking
Quagmire.
Quagmire. Yeah, you can't have
Yeah.
like one massive jacked arm and the other one that's like because naturally as well you're gonna lose a lot of muscle mass, which
Yeah,
happens. As I'm
dude.
sure you know,
Yeah.
of course, when you break. Well, I broke my wrist and my ankle,
Oh wow, I
which
didn't know
isn't too
that.
bad. Many years ago now, but when I was you know a bit younger and stuff in high school, it's awful. But like you know, yeah, you do lose a bit of muscle mass, but like fuck, I can imagine as well for someone like yourself who's been going that hard at the gym, you're gonna have a lot more power on one arm now, and then the other it's gonna be quite a bit weaker. But you'll
And
have to
then
build
yeah,
it back up.
it's exactly like I don't know if I'm gonna get my full strength back, you know, all of that. We don't really know. I've been very
Yeah.
optimistic about it, you know, and if I lost the weight once, I could do it again. But
Oh, dude,
like,
for sure, man, for sure. I think as well they say, you know, like muscle memory and stuff like that as well, man. You know, it'll be even
yeah,
easier for you this time around to get right
yeah.
back
If
to
you
where you
lose
were.
muscle, it's easier to get it back. Yeah,
Yeah, than it is to just build muscle when you've never had it, especially, or even just to lose weight in general in that regard.
yeah.
Well, dude, man, I mean, yeah, it's a shame that at this moment, of course, this is like the kind of position you're in. But dude, obviously, here's hoping things improve. Of course, man. Here's hoping you get some good news today, and then from there, you can kind of be like, right, a little bit course correcting and get things kind of maybe back more where you'd like
Back
them
on
to
track.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
no, I
man. Well,
appreciate
dude,
that, man.
it's
Like I
great
said,
to
long
have you on.
story.
No, dude, hey
Yeah,
man, it was a good
yeah,
story. It's good to get like the recap what's going on with you, man. 100%, dude.
yeah.
And I mean that kind of brings us into our first question because our first question is more of a softball. It's kind of just you know getting into it and a bit of a recap as well for you, you know, for us, for anybody watching, listening as well from your audience, from ours, and it's regarding your breaks from YouTube, which you kind of have been on and off with for the past few years, of course, as I'm
100%.
sure you
Yeah,
know, man.
yeah.
Consistency and Trey, they don't go together. You know what I'm saying? At least in YouTube's terms. You know what I'm saying? At least in YouTube's terms. So I've got a little bit of a script here, obviously, of course, written. But this right now is your fourth return to YouTube, at least from like what the way I've looked at it. You know, recently you took a bit of a break again for about another 7 months from making content. This was when you came back about 7 months ago. You were really going hard at it, made a bunch of videos, and then you've taken a little bit of a break again. And obviously, more recently, of course, you know, broke your arm. Awful thing, but you've you know been back and made a few videos, a couple of videos, of course, kind of came back to doing some bits. But I wanted to talk about your kind of again your past couple breaks and give a full recap for anybody who's listening or you know watching, of course, and what's been going on with Trey in his life and in terms of YouTube. So, like I said, this is now your fourth return to YouTube, with your first coming after your initial blow up back in 2019. To give some context to our listeners, and no doubt as well, a much mini recap for everybody here. Trey took his initial break from YouTube back on November 2019, which lasted until February 2021, when he returned with a video called "This Is My Return" video, in which he talked about his recent big boost of inspiration and motivation, for doing YouTube and how much he had missed it. He then went on to upload a few Minecraft videos before switching to a new genre of content that we'll touch on later on in this interview. He uploaded a bunch of videos though until around July 22nd, 2021, when he entered his second big break from YouTube. This break itself only lasted a few months, thankfully, with him unofficially returning on January 20th, 2022 with Shitbox Drifts, which was a funny moments, montage from GTA 5. Trey knows what I'm talking about, you know. And then, of course, as well, a vlog of him going to a car meetup in August. He officially returned from his big break, of course, his second break this was, on the 14th of June, 2023, with my return to YouTube, 150 pounds lighter, in which he talked about how his life had changed as he got into working out, got a new job, and had acknowledged that he'd been, you know, no longer wanted to represent himself as Kyro, and instead change his name from Kyro to Trey and be known just as ItsTrey from this point going forward, which is quite funny because obviously when you last joined us, you were known as, well, Kyro. That was the name
Yeah.
itself, and before then, I'm the bread and butter and all that kind of stuff, which
Bell the
fucking
20.
that name,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean, like that I'm the bread and butter is the name that I know you by, of course, from years and years ago, but last time you
Yeah.
joined us was Kyro, and here we are, of course, as ItsTrey, which I do think makes more sense, of course, personally.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
Trey.
Yeah,
It is-
exactly.
I mean,
That's what
I
it
am
is.
Trey. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Over the next few months since then, no, he uploaded a quite a bit of vlog-like content around topics like how to lose 100 pounds in 1 year realistically, how to work out when there's no motivation, and motivational Rockville hike. All this content, as you could probably tell, was centered around Trey as a person and acknowledged his newfound love for being healthy. Then, in October 2023, he entered his third big break from YouTube, which lasted until June 19th, 2024. Now, this is when Trey returns, more recently to, again, 7 months ago from now, though, after his third big break, and he came back making Minecraft content, seemingly returning to your roots, of course, and coming back to doing Minecraft videos again, which was quite nice to see, especially since you had really taken quite a big break from making Minecraft content for a long time. And you had came back and you started making, Minecraft videos all over again. And at this point, you were being more consistent than you really had been in a very long time. Within 2 months, you'd uploaded 50 videos and essentially revived your channel from gaining really only a couple thousand views a month and losing hundreds of subscribers to gaining,
Thousands.
600, yeah, literally over the years to gaining hundreds of subscribers and over 100,000 views, I think in the June and July, which was incredible. That was a mad influx, of course, especially from being inactive. And then, of course, after all this incredible success and kind of coming back and getting to you do, YouTube again, you left in September. And now, after 7 months, you've came back with, obviously, after now being your fourth hiatus, and here you are here. With all this in mind, I know that was a big, long kind of setup. I just want to kind of give a bit of a recap to let everybody know what's really happened, because your channel has went for a lot of inconsistent kind of times. I wanted to ask you, what made you return to making content again for now the 4th time, and why do you keep disappearing? What's the situation? What's going on?
So I do have I'll admit, almost an issue with consistency, but it's more of a moment of inspiration and time, dude. It's just time. During that stage, I was working second shift as lead of production, and I was working 10 to 12 hour days. And I
Right.
wanted that. I love the grind mentality. I love the grinding of YouTube. I love the grinding of getting better at work. I love the grinding of the gym. And it's just kind of a time thing. And YouTube's always been a part of my life, and I love it. I don't think I've found the connection dot that, like, my niche. I haven't found my niche.
Yeah,
And the reason I
yeah,
always kind of return to like the Minecraft duplication videos is because it's something I know that works, that's easy, and it's kind of the easy route. And I'll admit that's not the best route, but like, my head is okay. If I upload a video right now, even if it's like the best edited in the world, it's not going to get recommended. It's not going to be put in an algorithm. It's only going to get 10, 15 views, which is the right route. But what in my head, I mean, realistically speaking with you, I just know that Minecraft duplication glitches gets on the
they'll
algorithm,
work.
gets work. It gets
Yeah,
the cogs turning. It
yeah,
gets the momentum going. And just like you
yeah,
said, from getting like no views to 100,000 in a month or two, it gets the ball,
yeah,
it gets the
man.
ball rolling. And
Yeah, I
then
mean,
I
yeah,
discovered that my computer's broken. Whoop,
yeah.
bam, and that makes editing thumbnails, all that, like, three
So
times
much
as
more of a
hard.
challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing it on my phone, man.
dude, yeah, I can imagine it's so much more of a
Picks
challenge.
up,
What
jump
did
on
Yeah.
happen
picks art, you're sorted.
if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your PC? Did it just break one day,
Dude, it
or
just
like?
fucking poofed on me. Like, it just. So here's the. It just stopped. It just
What?
stopped
What
one day.
actually? Does
I
it
think
just
the
like blue
problem is.
screen or something?
I think the problem is I left it on one time for a very long time with my monitor off. I think I
Right.
left my PC on for like a week, but like
Oh my
my
god.
screen was off, and it boots right up. The LEDs, the RBGs, whatever,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
yeah,
turn on,
yeah.
but it just has no signal whatsoever. Like, whenever I
Oh,
switch to different HDMIs, I switch to a different computer, I switch it to my TV, it just won't connect.
Do you reckon
yeah,
it's like
And
man.
overheated, maybe like one of the
It,
cables or
maybe
something?
it might be like a motherboard thing, or like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it could be your RAM. I mean, that I had similar. I've got 2 PCs at the minute, not to like flex, obviously, but like, it's just because I had to buy another one. I moved away from my dad. He wouldn't let me get my fucking PC, so I had to spend like £1,000 to get another one, which is stupid as shit. But I've got two now. I've got 2 setups essentially. This is like my main setup, which is like, that's why I record podcast here. It looks nice, beautiful little backdrop, posters, whatever. And then at
yeah.
my mum's house, I've got like a little setup. It's the same essentially, same camera, same microphone. This is a better microphone, but a Blue Yeti, stuff like that. But my point with that is my PC had a similar issue. It's kind of similar. It was one day, went to turn it on. It totally was fine the day prior. Went to turn it on, booted up, and then it just kept booting up and not getting signal. It wouldn't go any further. It was, you're going, what the fuck? I've gotten the right HDMI. What's going on? Took it to a repair shop, found out it was just the RAM. The RAM
Gotcha.
this shit can happen. The RAM can break, and that's it. The PC is easy enough to take or replace RAM. You just buy it online and put in, or get it taken to a repair shop. That's what I done, just in case it was something else. But I mean,
Yeah.
do you have any intentions of getting it repaired? Like, I'm
Yeah,
presuming it's something.
no. I've actually had my brother look, and he's really into PCs, and I probably
Oh,
should have done this
great.
sooner. But like, almost kind of use it as an excuse where like, oh, my PC's broken, I can't do it.
Yeah,
It's the bad mindset, but it's just how it was.
It's just
Yeah,
realistic. Yeah, man. I think with the content stuff like you were saying there as well a little bit about like, making duplication glitches, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in this episode, because there's a few things that are perhaps a bit more I don't know what I'd like to word them as. I don't know if Joe would have a better word for them here if he gets what I'm even referring to, but there's a few questions I feel like might come across a little bit more perhaps like perhaps rude or mean-spirited, and I hope they don't.
no,
'Cause
I
they're not,
already
they're
know
not,
where this is leading.
yeah, they're not
I see the end of
loaded
the
that.
road.
Yeah, they're not loaded that way. It was just literally because there were things that I'm like, I do want to bring up. I want to talk about this kind of
They
stuff.
are
You're bouncing
criticizing
around it. I
and
get you,
observations,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I don't want to pussyfoot either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just be blunt about it, but I'm also like, I want to kind of have like a good kind of question.
I had to remove several slurs from his questions. So
He did not. That's not true. Do not believe him. But I mean, so when it comes down to the consistency thing, obviously, again, fourth hiatus, fourth break, it is just a matter of just, I'm guessing, you've got your own life going on, personal life, and you've kind of, to some extent, you still love YouTube, still enjoy doing it, but it's only a matter of when you want to do it. You don't feel forced. This isn't what pays your bills. This isn't.
Yeah.
and
what
also
runs
he's
your
trying to
life.
find his niche, which is another layer
a
of
huge
complexity.
thing, dude.
And
That's a huge thing. Yeah.
And I mean, like, in that time where you've not had the computer working, has there been moments where you've just sat and thought about? Because I imagine because of the broken arm as well, you've had a lot of spare time on your hands.
Oh gosh.
Have
Yeah.
you had any like revelations, or have you been thinking about
If I were to
potential
have
ideas?
an editing software and like everything kind of laid out, like that it's possible, it's almost like it's funny because now it kind of seems like the opposite of motivation. Like it's demotivation because I feel like if I put all this time into one video and it doesn't, do well.
It's
But here's
gonna
the thing,
knock
I
you
know
down.
the key is to do it for yourself. You make these things for yourself. You do it because you like it, not because of what you get in return.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, sad to say, but if I were to put all these hours in one video and I'm excited to show the world and it gets 15 views, it just doesn't
Dude, it's a
give me
kick in
that
the teeth, man.
satisfaction.
No,
I like
I feel that.
grinding for results, and maybe that's a very like mechanical view of YouTube, but until I find something I truly like to do, then it won't satisfy that need. You get what
No,
I'm saying?
yeah, I get you. I think
Yeah,
quite similarly to you in that regard. I think we've always had kind of similar viewpoints, like tutorials and educational based content.
yeah.
Like we've always kind of known that, like, yeah, you could make something that is more like something that you made, like something that's personal or whatever it could be. But like the chance of that being successful, it's quite uncertain. But like we both know, if you make a duplication glitch or glitches or whatever it could be, there's a way higher chance they're going to do well. And if it's easier to crank them out, why wouldn't you, logically
And
speaking?
I
It kind of
really
is a
fell
matter
into
of
like a mechanical view of it too,
Mhm.
where like, dude, I was even looking at it as like me making a video. I felt it like it was a video game. Like I'm gonna pump out a
Yeah.
duplication glitch, get views,
Views.
get this, and not like, dude, I completely went like the robotic route. Like it's not
Yeah.
even me. I'm just kind of like I turn a switch on. I make a duplication glitch. I'll even make the same duplication glitch. I'll remake the same bit. Like I was just trying to get those
The
cogs
views and the
turning
numbers.
just to get numbers, and like
Yeah.
I'm not proud of that. Maybe it makes me scummy, but like it's just I separated myself from the equation there, and I just wanted to get the cogs turning. And like I
Yeah.
said, I haven't found that thing. I haven't found that thing that makes me truly want to do it. And I'm not,
Yeah, that need.
I'm not over here. I'm the best YouTuber. Like that's not my goal here.
No,
But yeah.
I get you, man. I get you. I think when it comes down to it, dude, like obviously, personally speaking, I've said this before and stuff like that. I've talked about it. Like feds kind of was, or feeds, excuse me, not feds. I always call them feds. Feeds and yourself were kind of in a loop, especially more you, where we're just cranking out duplication glitch, and I'm like, critically speaking, I'm like, oh, but like that's kind of lazier stuff. You guys can make more like you guys
100%,
can make
dude.
better content, but at the same extent, it works. And also as well, not even that it works. For you, you're in a position where you came back to YouTube. This now is after like the third hiatus, right? You came back and you've came back to a channel that's getting, like it's losing subs, hemorrhaging subscribers per month.
Dude, those first
It's
like 10, 15 videos of
yeah,
like coming back, it was horrendous because
yeah.
you're not in
People
the
get
algorithm, so you're
notifications
not
and
getting
it just
views,
yeah,
but you're only losing subscribers from
yeah,
those
no,
first original
yeah.
videos.
Yeah, I had that as well. Man. I had the same thing because I've been
People
quite
were clicking
inconsistent with
on to
content.
unsubscribe.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know that is that's a real thing. It's actually horrible. You know, people subscribe to you from years ago, and they're like, "Oh, I love this guy, subscribe," and then years later, because maybe you not be making content or whatever, you've never popped back up into their feed, and maybe they don't play Minecraft or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you start making content, and then all of a sudden they're getting notifications, and they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to."
They can also just like forget your name as well. I mean, like they're
That-
like,
that thing
"Oh,
happens,
who's
yeah.
this? I don't
That's
want
it.
And
that
then it
But
switches from Kyro to Trey too.
yeah,
Or they don't even play
rebranding.
Minecraft anymore. You know.
Yeah, but it is such a demotivating thing as well to see people unsubscribing the more you upload. It's like you're taking one step forward, two steps back in terms of progression. But I mean, if the duplication glitches worked, which they clearly did, you know, they helped your channel gain 100,000 views 2 months in a row. That is insane, going from 1 or 2,000 views. That is like, anybody can criticize it, and that's fine. They can the same way you could defend it, whatever. But at the same extent, it does work.
Look, like I said, I'm not trying to defend it. I'm not trying to go
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no.
I'm a pride. I'm not. I have videos I'm proud of, and I have videos
Yeah.
I am not proud of, and those aren't those. Like I agree. I came at that from a mechanical view, where, dude, I was just. You know what, Joe? I'll give you the exclusive. I'll keep it real with you. That push right there, that push of all those videos, wasn't prideful videos. It wasn't egotistical videos. It's not me defending
No.
it. It was me trying to get monetized again.
Which, fair enough. I mean, to be fair,
And I did.
yeah, and to
Yeah.
be honest, I didn't even think about that because obviously, of course, myself and Joe is here at now, MaskedCynic. We actually spoke about it. There's a good few friends of ours, including Joe, who's kind of like, because he isn't making content actively, as you know, as of course you know as well, Trey. If you don't get enough watch hours in a year, 4,000.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
expecting. I'm
thousands an
expecting to
hour,
lose
yeah.
monetization if I'm completely honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
I've not
it's such
uploaded
a
in
sad-
7 months.
It's such a bummer because like I feel like once you do get it, you should get to keep it. It's almost like a bit of like a reward because like you worked for
Yeah.
that originally, but
Or,
yeah.
or even if they had it as like a return members or something, for like if you've had it before, maybe it's just 1,000.
Yeah,
Or,
like the bar's a
yeah,
little
you
bit
know,
lower because you've already been there.
you've
Proven
done
that
it
you've deserved
before.
it.
You know, you're
Yeah,
returning to the club. You're not only coming in for the first time, etc.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
no,
no,
I'm
I
expecting to lose it.
Yeah, hey man, I was there. I was there. And like I said, I have videos I was proud of, and I have videos that I'm not proud of. You know, there's a prideful, like, I put my heart and soul into these videos, and then there's the other part of like, I need these views, I need these mechanical things, and it's not even like a. It's hard to explain. You get what I'm saying?
No, I
Like,
get you. I get you.
yeah.
I do. I understand it. And from the point of view of like, even if it's like, yeah, like you're not the biggest fan of doing these types of videos, if this is what you have to do to get monetization, then fair enough. Fair enough. People can criticize, yeah, but fair enough. At the same extent, if that's what you had to do and it worked, then
Like, yeah,
you know.
I'm not defensive of these. I'm not
No,
like,
no. Yeah. You're not trying to like
I'm not,
defend it or
yeah.
anything like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, valid. I'll let Joe carry on. With
I'm
the
just
next
keeping
question
it
for
real,
fun.
you know. Like,
No,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I think that's the way it should be. 100%, bro.
I'm just going to follow in basically what we were going on about earlier as well. And I know even Joe prefaced by saying it could come across a bit mean-spirited, but we don't mean this at all. It's just the way we've phrased it. So don't take it to heart. It's just something to gloss over.
Yeah.
But just following a bit from Joe's question, back in May of 2021, that feels like such a long time now, doesn't it?
Damn, I know. I was
Jesus
expecting a
Christ.
4 years ago question. Yeah.
After your first big break from making videos, you returned with a new type of content that for many of your viewers was completely unexpected. It wasn't Minecraft, it wasn't Borderlands, and it wasn't even gaming related. Instead, it was reaction videos.
Reaction, yeah.
In these videos, you no longer were just a voice behind a screen. We could see you, hear you, and for the first time connected with the real Trey. It's Trey. You had not only switched genres in terms of content, though, but you also seriously stepped up your editing style and evolved from editing on the old PS4 Share Factory editing software to a new fresh look with smooth intros, transitions, and pop-ups for the 50+ reaction videos you released. It seemed like you had a full intention to keep evolving your content this way. However, with your 2 recent returns to YouTube, even content feels like we aren't watching the evolved version of you. Instead, for me and Joe, it feels like we are watching the old school. I always mess up how to say it. L1T Kyro or Light Kyro, Lit Kyro. Or
You remember on Xbox where you
butter.
had like clan tags?
Yeah, don't worry.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I just don't want to, because I remember, like Joe said earlier, like I remember I'm the bread and butter more than anything.
Yeah.
So that one's iconic to me. That we know from back in 2019, who recorded and edited on the PS4. Which, although is nostalgic, it also is a little disappointing. Why have you not brought that same quality you had back in 2021 to your new content now in 2025?
So this goes back to like the prideful work and the mechanical work, and also me trying to find my niche. You know, like when I was doing those reactions, it was because I actually love to watch reaction videos. So that was like a good push of me like exploring, seeing what I want to do, because I actually like that content, so I would like to make it. And it was a lot more work to edit and stuff, which is it was just fine, and I was having fun on them. But dude, there's a whole side to that side of YouTube where I don't know the details about, like getting striked on every single video. Like if you don't pause a
Yeah.
song, if you don't pause a
Oh.
music video every 7 seconds, it will get striked.
Yeah,
So
because
you
it's
have
not
to make
fair
sure there's a
use.
cut. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so every single video was getting striked, taken down, demonetized. And like for the so yeah, that right there, I got a strike for one of the videos just from reacting to it.
I can
Dude.
imagine
Like
that's so
not
difficult,
even
especially if your like reaction is like happening during the watch
yeah,
and like
yeah.
the song's playing, because then you've basically got to go, am I okay making nothing from this video, or do I scrap one of the better bits of the video?
Yeah, and
Like
that's going to
Exactly.
break up the momentum of
Exactly.
it and
like
pause every other
butchering it.
7 seconds.
Yeah.
It
That's a
on when it
pain.
came down to like the reaction, it wasn't even like just like the money. It was also videos were getting like taken down. It wasn't just about getting demonetized. It was about people were claiming rights to the whole entire video. Oh,
Don't worry, I'm not too sure
last
what
one.
happened. It just went to audio only. It just
I'm
went to
still here,
audio
don't
people
worry.
people were claiming rights to the entire video. Like they were getting the videos taken down, and like I don't know like the technicalities. I know they a lot of reactors like have to like okay, so every 7 seconds you got to cut it, and then you got to react every 10 seconds, and like I don't know like the little logistics to sneak around the rules, you know, the
Yeah,
obligations.
yeah.
But to your question, that was me exploring, try to figure out like what I actually like to do. And it's funny, even in the reaction route of YouTube, I fell into the same pit hole as the Minecraft, where I was making these videos that I liked, but they weren't getting any views. But then I
Oh.
found these certain crazy. I'm exposing a side of YouTube right now. I found these certain artists that if you react to them, they have bots. They
Oh.
legitimately have bots. There's this one, I think, Filipino rapper. If you go look through my channel, you're gonna see me react to like 10 of his songs, and he's like, no one knows his name, but for some reason on every single one of his videos, it gets 5, 10,000 views that nobody knows about him.
You're
But
like
then there's other
indirectly
ones that only get
botting.
like 20 views. So I fell into the same trap where on Minecraft, I'm doing duplication glitches that get views, but it's just it's you put these works into these videos, you spend these hours and hours and hours, and then they get 10, 20 views, and then you find this thing where it gives you 10, 15,000.
Oh, of
But
course, you're going to do that kind of thing intentionally. Like
exactly,
that's it.
if I
Yeah.
didn't get so much negatives from the reacting route of getting striked, getting unmonetized, getting the videos taken down, getting like just all that stuff, it would have been a nicer approach. It would have been something cool if that actually worked and blossomed for me. I would have loved it because I love doing that type of content. But it just seemed like there's too many things I didn't know of. Strike unmonetized, getting videos taken down, and it wasn't working in my favor. And then I
Yeah.
also tried like the fitness journey and uploading videos talking about motivation, and like you're seeing firsthand me trying to like I love YouTube, dude. YouTube's always been a part of my life, but you're
Of
trying to
course.
watch me find my route because I don't want to leave it. You're probably going to
No.
see me cut in and out of YouTube for the rest of time because YouTube is my life until I find that thing that I like to do that works.
Yeah. I think honestly it was really nice for me when I was building the script because we only have a handful of questions, and when I was going through your channel I was like, well, what can we speak about that we haven't? And obviously one of the big things of course was your weight loss and your journey with your health. That's a massive thing. That is a cornerstone of your life, and I'm sure you'd agree with me saying that became a part of your life. That was a huge thing for you, of course. So speaking about that was a big part, but also as well, mainly in your journey on YouTube, it was you see you kind of going through these different stages with the breaks, especially where you would come and go, and when you came back to the reaction style content, it was phenomenal. It was like in general, even if there was artists that I hadn't heard of or watched before, seeing your reaction system was interesting, it was unique, but also as well, the editing alone was like, wow, this is a version of Trey I've never seen. Like Trey's like stepping up his production quality here because of being on PC and no longer being restricted by Share Factory, which I love.
That was a
And I
big
know you do
trap
as
for a
well.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love
Yeah.
Share Factory. I
I
adore it,
remember when you took
honestly.
that lump or that jump. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big thing because especially with Share Factory, you can get a lot of views from uploading via PlayStation as well. That's another big thing. But I love Share Factory, but it is such a big jump in terms of editing. You can do so much more on a PC than you can,
Yeah.
of course,
It's
on
just,
a
it's
Share
just
Factory,
quality,
you
if you, yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You needed
But
so many like loopholes to jump through with Share
oh
Factory
yeah,
as well. I
to
remember
import
like
things
having
and
to
to
do
do
it in
things.
intervals of what, like 90 minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's like a limit for how long a project
An
can be and
edit
stuff.
cap too, or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
learned that.
How
Yeah.
many cuts? I think 50 cuts can only be the maximum in a project and stuff. But it was something that I was curious about because I kind of sat there and looking at your content, especially your newer stuff, with no disrespect. I was kind of like, he's making duplication glitch. He's doing that. That's totally fine. But it seems like he's editing again. And please, like, I presume you are editing again on the Share Factory.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And
Because
dude,
I
those
could.
videos I was cranking out in 30 minutes, like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would
Well,
take
that's it.
five.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was.
And
I'm telling you, that was
I
a
was looking at
mechanical
them.
side.
I was
Yeah.
looking at them. I'm like, there is like the polish is nowhere near the same as it was with the reaction style content. And obviously, because that was different, you had to edit on the PC. You were reacting to it. There was a lot more time going into them. But I think it would be lovely and great to see you get back to that level of quality in terms of editing. But
Yeah,
obviously, even still doing Minecraft content because I still think it could be very, very, very successful, 100%. Depending, of course, on what you're doing.
that's
Um,
valid.
uh, yeah, I think it's a fascinating conversation to have because in general when it comes down to it, like you switching genres was such an unexpected thing. I remember when you first came back with reaction style content. I remember genuinely because I was still around streaming and doing bits. And I remember being like, this is weird. Like not in a rude sense. Like
Off
it went from
guard, yeah.
Minecraft content to like React. What the fuck? This is like
Yeah.
a 90-day difference. But you were passionate about it, and that was what was clear. And I think that's also a good thing that I think because you were passionate about it, and no doubt you were watching people in that reaction space who were doing things that you enjoyed, it made you more motivated to want to do them as well. And hence why you kind of grown and evolved quite a bit when it came down to doing reaction style content.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair
Thank you.
play, man. Fair play there.
And
No,
I
you're good.
no, yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, going on from there, my next question. A lot of these are kind of related to the past, present, what's going on. This one here is regarding, of course, when it comes down to the duplication glitches, and we've kind of already talked about it a little bit. And it says here, I'm sure I can speak for everyone who has been a long-term friend and viewer of your channel, Trey, when I say that it's been great to see you back making not only new content, but also, again, more specifically, new Minecraft content, especially after you walked away from making videos on Minecraft back in April 2021, because it was something that you were known for. It was really lovely to see you back in that community and back kind of here with the others who are still around doing it as well. Since your last return, you've uploaded around 50-ish videos, which, as I mentioned, did revive your channel, and it helped you go from losing 100 subscribers a month and gaining only a couple thousand views to gaining, again, 600 subscribers in 1 month in general and 100,000 views a month. Definitely bring you back into limelight in terms of, obviously, channel growth. But with that being said, though, we haven't seen much in terms of new creative content from your videos. And we, again, have already somewhat kind of already talked about this and kind of touched on this. You've uploaded in total 36 of the 50 new videos. 36 have been duplication glitches. And if you include glitches in general, that number inflates to around 40, which is quite insane to kind of fully fathom that of the 50 new videos, there's been 40 of which have been duplication glitches. It is quite a like, oh gosh, I'm saying like he's milked this one. It leaves many, including myself, to question whether or not you're just trying to farm views by repeating the same old content that brought you your initial success back in 2019.
I like how we kind of
We've already
preemptively answered it.
Yeah, yeah, essentially, yeah. Or if you do have intentions to make some new content that is different from the videos you made in the past. My question, therefore, is why have you been so heavily milking the duplication glitch videos and not focusing on making more creative, unique content? And essentially, we've literally just talked about this.
Yeah.
Like we have, yeah. Essentially, you were milking those to kind of get back to monetization and kind of build the channel back up from the ground.
Yeah.
And in terms of creative content, as much as that is something I'm sure you at points do want to do, you're also another part is kind of aware that like you might just be wasting your time if the videos don't do that well because it's a bummer. It's a demotivator. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep it blunt, straight from me to you. It was a mechanical view. Like I was seeing. I wanted the views. I wanted to get monetized again. There's content I make that I'm proud of, and then there's content I make that I'm not proud of.
You're just getting out there to try and build
exactly just to put it out there. I'm not over here repping it saying like this is the best Minecraft videos of all time.
Yeah.
This is just to get the gears moving, to get the monetization in again, to get the actual algorithm going. Because if I were to want to create like an actual piece of content that I really enjoy, I'd want it to be displayed more. And like I said, this is kind of an issue what we were talking about earlier, where you should kind of make content for yourself and not for others, and or for like You should make content that you like, not just to post it because you want to get views and likes. And that's exactly what I'm doing there. I mean, and that's just what it is, you know. I wanted to get monetized. And even with all those videos, dude, I've probably made, to keep it real with you, probably like $120, you know, from that 2 months of work. So it's not like I'm over here,
like getting,
you know,
lots
like,
of money
oh, I'm making all this money. No, it was just to get the gears turning, you know.
Trey does this really weird thing where he like says thousands as single digits. So like 120,000 is kind of crazy.
That's what you earned? Yeah, of course. No.
Yeah.
All things considered, though, like I do understand it. Like writing the question, obviously, I didn't know the context of trying to get monetization back. So my point of view was like, yeah, you're kind of milking these videos over and over and over again, and you could be doing more creative content for sure, and that's a no-brainer. You know that, you said that, we all know that. But it does
I do want to
make
find
a lot
my
more
niche.
sense.
Yeah.
No, that as well,
Yeah.
especially, yeah. But it's a lot more respectable. Like I gain instantly a lot more understanding and respect for you with the concept that, like, yeah, you were doing that, and you don't stand by those videos like the best content you've ever made, because they're not, compared to the other content you made, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But you needed to do that even for a month or two or whatever it was to get the ball rolling, to start kind of the process of getting the channel back to a point where it can be viable to do as maybe an on and off project, to be earning money, to be hopefully having more people watching the content if you do make personalized content as well. Because if you were to just come back and make a personalized video, who's going to watch it? You know,
nobody.
Like, friends, I'm just maybe, but
I'm just doing the down and dirty work, you know, like
right now you're just kind of laying the concrete. I'm saying building
exactly,
the foundation a little bit and getting yourself hopefully ready to do more creative stuff if you want to do the creative stuff in general, which is understandable.
I wish the YouTube algorithm was slightly different, you know. Like,
no, I agree.
Yeah. I don't have an answer for it, but almost anybody right now, like if you take months off and then try to upload again, it could be the most beautiful thing of all time. And it's almost like gambling, dude. Like putting the coin in the machine, just hoping that somehow gets on the algorithm. I mean, the algorithm not even up to you.
It's laughable how you can compare it to gambling as well, because it's like it's about playing with dopamine, isn't it? So that's kind of
exactly
the main
Joe,
thing.
When you upload a video, don't you like sometimes like, that should have got more, like for all that time like that should have did something, you know.
For me, a lot of the videos that I make or the stuff that I do, they normally don't take it like that long in grand like scales of time, maybe a couple of days.
I've seen your edits, dude. You have like
videos.
Billion edits.
Yeah. For like more newer content and stuff, it can take a lot longer and stuff. But like for Joe, for example, I used to feel genuinely sly for Joe, because like Cynic, he would spend weeks writing a script, coming up, developing an idea. And Joe's laughing at that concept, but like he would spend a significant amount of time really building a video essay. That's what Joe really does. And Joe, please correct me if I'm wrong if you would say you do something different in that regard.
I mean, I would say video commentary, video essays. I jump about, especially at the moment. I jump about, but I'd say if you were to give it a title, probably video essays. Yeah.
But Joe does video essays, and some of them can be on like very niche topics, and he can spend weeks working on it, upload it, and then the video doesn't do that well, like a couple hundred.
Yeah. To be fair though, that sounds like you're almost doing it for yourself.
That's what Joe does. Yeah.
Like, you sound happy.
That's why I'm kind of expecting to lose
monetization.
That monetization, because I'm not like fighting for it, because it's like I'm not going to force myself to put something I'm not happy with. And I'll be completely honest, like if I look at the state of my channel, like I have done recently, like I'm not happy with a lot of it, but like there's like the odd few things where it's like you've said, it's been a gamble. I mean, I've uploaded something that was like, this is going to be great. I remember that this is how you know it's a real thing. The actual view count, I can tell you what it was: 117 views. That drove me mental. And then there was a video that took me about a month, and that got me 350,000. So I don't.
Wow.
And I hate that video now, but it's so much. I do. It's like a curse I've got. But
so
with us
knowing that YouTube, the algorithm's based off of like a gambling. You don't know what you're going to get. So when I upload content knowing it's going to get views, I'm sure you can see the appeal of duplication glitches and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I would like to add to this, because this is actually a bit of advice Joe gave to me years ago, and I always stand by it. Yes, it's a gamble, but you've also got to treat it, and I'm trying to word it the way he did, but it's also like every upload you put up is a ticket into the lottery, and it doesn't mean that you'll win right away, but at some point you could.
Yeah.
It's also even some of my videos have like blown up ages later.
The thing is with a lot of videos, especially when it comes to more like a niche topic, like if you do duplication glitch, that's likely to pop off and do well within like the first week or
Yeah,
month
it
even.
only has a month lifespan.
Yeah, that's it. And it'll
Yeah.
pop off and do what, and that's that. But like you could do a more very obscure random video. Like even you could say somewhat like seed showcases, which Trey, you had substantial
Those
success
were,
from back in the day. Yeah. And those could be like you could say niche, but you would do them and leave it for a few months, and then you come back and go, "Fucking hell, that video's got 100K views. What the hell?" And
I still get comments on them, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and they continue to grow. And Joe's kind of like, that's how I look at Joe's catalog. Joe's got amazing videos, but with every one that he makes new one, if it doesn't do well, it's not a loss because maybe in a few months it could hit the algorithm somewhere somehow.
I
and just
got
do well.
a surge literally 2 days ago on the Worms video, and I hate the Worms video. About 5 people have commented on it though, criticizing me, being like, "You can't say that." I was like, "Fuck, what have I said?" I go back, and Joe's worried because I do say some outlandish stuff. And literally, I don't even remember saying it, but I listened to it back. I made a joke about the death of Pope Francis. He died 3 days ago.
Yeah,
oh my god, what the fuck, dude?
Joe,
He did Joe,
it.
Joe jinxed
So-
it. Holy gosh.
I don't know. It was like if you're familiar, there's a weapon in the game called the Holy Hand Grenade, and it's a grenade blessed by God. And I was like, it's like being slapped by Pope Francis, and just
dude.
everyone's
like a flashbang where
dude,
you
you
see a white
can't.
light.
And it's like, bro, I uploaded this chat a year ago.
Dude, Scott, but it's
yeah.
mad how some old videos can just creep into the algorithm. But it is, I think, with Trey's point there, and Trey, you and I do think very similar in that regard. Where like both of us, as much as we could make some long form, very well thought out creative content like what Joe does, we also know that like the chance of that being successful is a lot less likely. And the time it could take us to make one video like that, we could make 20 short style
Exactly.
tutorials, duplication,
And those
glitches,
short
and
styles are guaranteed too.
Yeah,
So it's
guaranteed,
the
or
bad
there's a
and good
much
side.
higher
Yeah.
chance.
I like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
soul though, and I like my
Yeah. No, I've had this conversation with people, and Trey, you and I, like, there's been you, me, and a few other people I've known in the community who are like, we look at the numbers and we're kind of following that in terms of like tutorials and things because we know that works for views. It doesn't maybe help bring people into us, like to care about us individually. They just
Exactly,
care about
yeah.
our videos and the views.
Exactly.
But like
yeah.
Joe is on the other end of the spectrum where he could do that, but he'd rather just do more personalized content, which I respect as well.
Is it
His
Joe or
half now,
Joel?
speaking of,
What Joe?
we're both Joe.
We're both called Joe or Joseph, but I normally refer to him as Joseph.
But
and I
cynical,
go by
right?
Joe. Yeah, or cynic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well,
Yeah.
Listen, yeah.
honestly and respectfully, I would actually like to check out your channel. I don't think I've ever actually watched one of your videos, but I want
That's
to.
right.
You know, you got me here. And
He
Enjoy
really
the
does all
majority.
his content.
You seem like the type that actually enjoys what they make. You know, you seem like prideful. You know, there's teachers out there that just want a paycheck, and then there's teachers out there that actually like
Wanna
teach.
help.
make a difference.
And you
Yeah.
seem like you really do like your content.
Yeah.
Now,
I
Joe,
I
do.
respect that. I love
Joe,
that.
do you-
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to ask you, Joe. Are you there where you're making these videos for yourself? And be honest. I don't know yet.
Is
No, I
this to
haven't
me
watched
or
your
is this to
7 Days
him?
to Die.
All
No,
right,
it's
all right.
Catmanjoe.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of
And
a
not
weird
be
one
jealous
because
if you got it. Yeah.
No. Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, with some videos I am there, and then there's others where I'm just making it, right? Because I know it's going to do well. Like I started mainly Minecraft news stuff, or even news stuff in general. A lot of that stuff I can enjoy the process of, but a lot of it is like a matter of its views, right? Like, and it's that mechanical kind of
Yeah.
way of thinking where it's like, well, this will work, this will do well for views. There are certain projects that I do where it's not about views. I love it. Like I've got How to Build a Minigames Lobby series that I do, which is like
I remember,
it's
dude,
no-
that was a long
yeah,
series.
man. I've done that for years now, and it gets like no views, like little to no views. It gets like maybe 100, 200, which is still something, but like not really lots. And I might spend a week working on one of those episodes, while I could spend like a week working on 20 videos that could do way better. But I enjoy that for the passion. But I kind of like try and mix a little bit of like passion content with the stuff that is more mechanical that you kind of get out there because that pulls people in and it helps pay the bills or whatever it may be, which is kind of what I do there. But definitely there is points where I'll make content and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not invested in this. Like I don't feel like pride from it. It's just a video.
It feels like a staple conversation that this podcast has, I think, actually.
yeah.
Because I think we bring it up a lot. I mean, like, I've done it, you've done it. We've all done tutorial-based stuff. I just dropped it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But
I like
you
how
know,
you said trading your soul. That's a good. That's a good. Like, are you?
It-
Are you?
but it is. I'm not sure about you, but like when I was doing,
soul,
when I was doing tutorial based stuff, whether that was for Minecraft, because I did once upon a time do some
A little
Minecraft
bit,
stuff
yeah.
years ago. Then I did Apex stuff, Apex glitches, etc., and loads of like stuff for that, and that did really well. But like because I was like forcing myself to jump on trends and jump on things that are popular, it was just exhausting for me, and I just didn't like it, and it made me resent the creative process, and I wasn't proud of it because I'd look at it and be like, who is speaking, who is making this video, and like you've said, you're doing it for a mechanical purpose, which is completely respectable when you're self-aware of it. It's when people go, like, I've met a few people, and I don't want to name up too much, but I used to know someone at the time called ICOps who did the same thing I was doing on Apex. And I've never met someone with no personal soul outside of the creative mechanical stuff. And he was just cocky about it. And he was all right to chat with, but in any other setting, I wouldn't have hung out with him. And I think that's an important distinguishing difference to make between your situation, my old situation, and certain people that claim it to be like the second coming of Christ. You know,
I think it is a matter of trying to find a balance, because if you do it just mechanically for views, you're never really going to love it as much and never going to really find it as passionate. But if you can do it for a bit of both, it's a nice medium.
It's honestly that relates to life. Like no, I cut you off.
No. You're fine. You're the guest.
Where like even getting like a normal 9-to-5 job, you know, if you hate it, it's not going to last forever. But if you like it, man.
You can kind of write it on. But it's trying to find a happy medium. Maybe, you've got to be realistic as well and be like, listen, like, as much as I might enjoy making these passion project videos, the chances of them doing very well or successful is far and few between. And I can't sustain the channel like that. Let me do, say every month, let me do one of those videos, and let me do 3 videos that are more likely to be successful. Like, for example, tutorials or whatever. If you can try and find a balance, that is the best thing. But it's far and few between, and it's hard. It really is. It's not easy to do that.
And I hope I find that niche, you know, because I'm not. I don't know what I want that content to be. Yeah, man. I really don't. I really don't. I want YouTube in my life, and I want to be able to upload, but I don't know what the meat and potatoes I want. You know,
what it is that you want to be known for, and what it is that you want to do specifically. I feel that, man. I'm still.
Have you tried Skylanders?
No,
that's my calling.
Oh my god!
No, but that's the thing. Unfortunately, it fucking was my calling, because that's all I am now. Is the Skylanders guy. I did a half-an-hour video on Skylanders.
Are either of you guys at the point where you can upload a video and not look at the results? Like, be 100% honest with me. Can you go the first 24 hours without looking at the views? Like, dropping it and walking away.
I've got a weird middle ground. Typically, no, I'm very much looking at it. However, I got to a point where it was making me miserable. So I would log out. But I would log out, and I wouldn't be able to check it until that hour of the next day. Right. And then the second part, the second part of my rules were, and I know this is really bad to say this was a success or this wasn't, but if it isn't at least triple digits, I would then get really angry about it.
That's valid. Yeah. I had that same stage
24 hours to get 100 views.
Skyrim back in the day,
Yeah. For me, it's kind of similar. I try not to look at the analytics too much, because the first hour of a video's performance can be quite a fuck up. You know, if you upload a video, you're kind of sitting there for the first hour like, how's it doing? Like, has it got 100 views yet? 200? 1,000?
But even if you do good though, you're told you're doing worse than what you did.
Than what you did previously. That out of 10 thing is if anybody who doesn't do YouTube doesn't know, there's a thing on YouTube where if you upload and you go on your desktop or your phone, it'll say, this video's performing 8 out of 10, which means that it's
what you made was good.
10 uploads,
but it wasn't the Skylanders video.
It's well, that's it. The algorithm is like, fuck you, bastard. But like, it's it is hard to not look at the views. For me, I'll sometimes, like, I'll be at Ree's, my girlfriend's out, I'll be there and I'll upload a video, and I'll be like, right, listen, I'm not gonna go on my phone or the laptop or fuck all for the next hour, couple hours. I'll try and ignore it, because I feel like
it's itching at you, like
back there. Man. But I also have like a weird, like, almost like superstition where I'm like, is it good luck if I just don't check until the next one? And then hope it will do well. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird one. It really is.
I do feel like it's weird though, because like you said, having some like pop up afterwards though. I had like I feel like I've got a weird like superpower to like do stuff before something bad goes down, like the whole Pope Francis thing. And also I did a half-an-hour documentary thing on an indie development game that I fucking was in love with. It was like, I had one level, I played it for 77 hours and just documented it. The creator's now going to jail for abuse.
That's a great follow-up video.
So now
I said it, Trey. I tried to get him to do it. I tried to.
I nearly did it. I had it half written, and I was like, I don't know.
I read the script for like my part, and then I just scrapped it recently. I put it to my archive because I was like,
I've been so gone. I'll talk to you more after this call if you want about life,
Yeah.
if you want.
Yeah.
But
I do have a
yeah,
question, Joel. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, no, so I was done. I was
Oh,
done.
okay.
Okay.
So that wildly successful video you had that got 350,000 views, was it like linear or was it like one day just?
It was almost like neither of those things. It was I was on holiday, and the third day into my holiday, I checked my analytics. So it went from the initial 300 views to 60K.
In like 24 hours, or are we talking a month?
We're talking about a week.
Okay.
And then I want to say 4 more days past. I was still on holiday. 120K.
Dude.
Yeah. So
Then it went like slowly up to 250 over the course of 3 months, and then about 2 months ago it hit 350.
Damn. Yeah.
So
Now-
it's been weird.
do you think
So-
that's affected your algorithm at all?
Yes.
So you get more views now, right?
Yeah and no. I think it's weird because whenever you look into my username, it's always Skylander related stuff. So
Mm.
I
It's
think
tied
if
to
you
you.
watch a Skylander video, you will most likely get mine recommended. My video was number 1 in terms of searching the term Skylanders for about 2 weeks. So
That's
that was
something to be proud
terrifying.
of. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
something-
Yeah, it
for
is,
real,
and then
man,
you
that-
realize you're
yeah.
the Skylanders guy. But it's like, but yeah, and then just
Oh, the
I've had a
duplication
lot of
guy.
slow burn.
Yeah.
Even my favorite video I've ever made has had a recent slow burn. I think that's like I want to say at least 4K now. I think it's the Friday the 13th one. I love that thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Even and this is a bit of an old one, Joe. You love this video. I hate it because the mic quality and everything about it's awful. But the Turbo Overkill video has got a few more 100 views now, which is weird to me. But yeah, no, it's all slow burning.
So on that, I want to see if we've all had this universal experience because I haven't even asked Joe, but I know he has agreed. I'm pretty sure he's agreed to this. So when we're at our, not sure if you heard that, if we're at our peak, right, that moment where you're getting a lot of views, have you ever sat in those video analytics and just clicked refresh to see the view count go up?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Have you, Joel?
Yeah.
On that video that got 350,000? No, you've never watched the views go up?
Dude.
So when you're
No.
riding
That
on
is
high,
that is a high that,
Yeah.
like, nothing, no drug, no shit compares
No,
to
no.
it's a
I
weird
got
one
so
like that.
miserable prior to that when things weren't working that I just never went on YouTube Studio.
Wow.
I think I hit such a low with YouTube Studio ages ago that I'm now unaffected. So I'm numb. I have no feelings
Dude,
left.
It's I remember who's my girlfriend, as I mentioned already. She's not a YouTuber or anything like that, but like I remember her because she's got access to my channel and stuff. She was on the dashboard.
That's scary.
This was like back in I think October-ish 2022. I'd uploaded a news video and it got 100K views, but in the matter of like a minute, it jumped 30K or something or whatever it was.
Exactly.
Watching that live was like. You're kind of sitting there like, oh my god, like
it's crazy that like you were like on it so much. I mean, like I said, when I got mine, I was on holiday. So like obviously when you're in the hotel, you go to like the area for food for dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
Every dinner time, I'd go on the channel and check, but I wasn't sitting
Dude, I
there. It
don't
was
know
like
how you can
I was like,
refreshing,
I'm looking.
yeah.
I
How
literally
you
was
couldn't.
like, I can't wait for tomorrow's dinner to see if it would go. I wasn't on it like a fucking nut job.
Dude,
but like,
no, man.
So,
That's how
I get
am.
why you would though.
Back when I was writing that duplication, honestly, the seed showcase, I have one seed showcase that's at, I might be I think it's like 800K or something like that, 900K right now.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I remember uploading that video, and literally the second I pressed upload, it said like posted 10 seconds ago, and I refreshed, and it said 300 views, and then I pressed refresh, then 1.2 thousand, then refresh. Dude, within a minute, it's at almost 3K views.
That is an adrenaline, isn't it? Like that is a
like,
feeling you can't fucking get.
It's that
elsewhere. It's
YouTube
like,
drug, and you can tell I'm a
Yeah.
YouTube Minecraft addict when it comes to duplication.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
You get me? Like I'm under its influence. It's got me in its hooks because it's that high.
You know what? There might have been a time actually where I was on it a little bit, but this wasn't to the extent. This is when I did. I'm not going to explain the entire Apex thing, but there was a way to get into lobbies where you would be playing against lower ranked players, so it would be easier for you to play.
Ooh, I would love that. Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, so I did. It's not even real. But we made up about 3 different ways to get into bot lobbies. That shit got 25k in an hour.
See, dude, yeah, come on.
That moment
Yeah.
of refreshing, like what Trey's saying there, like when you're refreshing when that's happening and just seeing those views trickle up,
That
and you're
video's on
like,
private now.
dude, that is a crazy thing. That is
Yeah.
an adrenaline that is
Yeah.
unparalleled to anything else. Like it makes you want to just chase that endlessly on YouTube.
Mm.
Like,
Exactly.
holy shit.
I
So
think-
touch into
No,
the type of
no,
content-
I was
yeah.
about to transition. Stop fucking doing that. I'll kill you.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Literally.
Go on.
I'm gonna
I'll
come
let
up
you do
there
your
now.
transition. I'm drinking water. It's fine.
I'll shut up.
I had no problem with you. I have problem with the other one, the fucking Vegeta hairline.
Hey, he's the
Right.
one that taught me, man. He's the one that told me to upload my first Minecraft video.
Hey, he's told me to do so much things. I defy everything.
He doesn't listen.
You made me, Joe. You made me this way.
I was the one that got away. But I'm going to talk a little bit outside of YouTube, kind of related, but we're going more into the Instagram territory. But some of your YouTube subscribers might not know this, but you actually have 2 Instagram accounts. The first being Kyro Reacts, which is one with 165 followers and has, relates to your YouTube channel altogether.
Yeah.
Your second one is, I hope I'm saying it correctly, 7Ray7Ray.
So
Account which
it's
has
Trey, but the T's are 7s. Yeah.
the 7s. Yeah, of course it is. And the account has an insane 7.9k followers that have followed you mainly for your gym journey posts and stories. What is your advice for people who are looking to start going to the gym, whether it's to lose fat or gain muscle, but aren't sure where to start?
So here's my thing. I have no exaggeration, probably answered over 1,000 DMs asking. Like it's always people on the bigger side. Because I used to make reels that get semi good views, and they would ask, "How do you do it? How do you lose the weight? How do you get the motivation?" And I always have to advise: give it your all for 2 weeks. I'm saying cut your diet in half. Like if you're drinking 3 Diet Cokes a day or Dr. Peppers a day, drink 1. If you're eating 5 burritos, eat 2. If you're only getting 5,000 steps a day, get 10. And put yourself through this little hell, right, for about 2 weeks, and don't check the scale at all. But if you're actually doing this, if you're actually doubling your steps and eating half this food, not like an unhealthy amount, but people eat a lot. Yeah. Like if you limit yourself and actually try for 2 weeks and you don't check the scale and you get on that scale, I promise you'll weigh less. And you will like that. You'll be like, damn, I lost 7 pounds. Now do that, now continue. And you don't have to go to that extent. You don't have to get 10K steps every day, but now you know the layout, just do less than what you're doing, and then you will get that way. And then I'll always say, like, my personal route, like I was explaining to you guys earlier, is that I've tried to lose weight by itself all the time, and it's never worked for me. I needed something like a motivator besides just that number on a scale. And for me, what worked was lifting weights, because I wanted to see the muscle. I wanted muscle and I wanted to see it. And now when you're a really big guy, you don't really see it. So what worked for me personally was that want of muscle. So when you're working out, you can say, or fuck the cardio. You can even eat as much as you, okay, don't do it, but I'm just like, you can do whatever you want and lift really heavy for a month, and then you're gonna like feel your arm, or you're gonna feel the strength difference. You're gonna have that muscle activation. When I was really big, I couldn't activate my chest, I couldn't activate my back, I couldn't activate certain parts of my body because there was just no muscle there. But when I worked it out and felt the activation and I could flex every part of my body, that gave me that want of, I need to lose the weight now to see it, because I want to see it. I want to see what I worked for. So that's what worked for me personally. But I definitely think dude, the gym is just straight consistency. Like I wish you could give it your all today and see the results tomorrow, but it's just consistency over time. And if you can't do a lot, then just at least do a little every day. Like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally, man.
Yeah.
It's honestly, man, as someone like who's of course known you for many, many, many years, man. I remember you, of course, when you were a bit of a bigger guy, of course, right? In that
Huge guy.
Yeah, man, yeah, dude, and you were always, and you still are, and I'm so glad that you are. Like, you haven't changed.
I'm always still a huge guy. No, I'm kidding.
No, bastard. You know what? He knows what he's doing here. But like, but like, you're still the same guy in terms of personality. You're a lovely person. You know what I'm saying, through and through. But when it comes down to it, dude, it's such a big change, man, because you have, like, physically, bro. Like I see photos of your Instagram, man. Your arms and like the way you look, bro, you're jacked, man. Like you are like fuck, man. Like
Thank you.
you've got the physique that like most guys like, dude, we want that. Like that's what we want, man.
Thank you. I
Like
appreciate
it's
that.
fucking man. No, dude, it's insane, bro, man. And to see where you've came from to where you are now, it's such a huge motivation, man. Especially for people that are like, well, I don't know, I don't know if it can be done. It's like, yes, it can. You just got to get started and get to it, man. And
Yeah.
dude, I can imagine like for you personally, like, you're so happy you got started because here you are. You know, what I mean, man?
100%. And it's as we're recording this, I'm not sure if people listen to this down the line. Right now, I'm honestly at the lowest point since being that big because of my injury. I haven't been able to work out in over a month. I can't really move too much. I've gained 25 pounds. It's funny, like you're saying, like, oh, you look jacked in the pictures, and right now I feel like a couch potato, dude. You know, I
But
gained 25 pounds. I'm not moving.
But that's just because
But
you're not getting the pump, man. You're not at the gym.
like,
You know what I mean, bro? Like that's it.
Also, quite literally, not your fault. Like I feel like there's also a
Of
mental.
course.
There's like
Yeah,
a mental
yeah.
bit in there somewhere that's probably thinking, well, it's not. I can't do anything about it, right? Like
Yeah.
well,
surely.
there's someone watching that doesn't know me, and I'm like, why are they gassing him up like, like look at him, like, you know, like look at, but it's honestly a lifestyle, and it's not like a, you know, a defined moment where I just know I'm at a low right now, but I will.
Oh, phone collapsed. It. You're muted. Something's happened. We've had a technical. Oh no! Hello. Oh no! We can. He's gone like this. It's like we can't hear. We'll be right back after these technical difficulties. Give us one moment. You were saying. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, how's life?
It's going well. You say it's going well, yeah. You say, yeah, it's going all good, yeah. Fuck. Hopefully he's all okay. I hope that.
I think he's died.
I think he may
mean-
have died. You skipped a question, by the way.
Did I
Naughty
really?
man. You skipped a question. Number
Did I
3
actually?
Yeah, you did. You skipped to number 5, which is fine. I'll skip back to number 4, and then you. Can
Oh
do number-
fuck! I did.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Shit. My bad.
Let me double check. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back. There we go.
I got
Let me
a
add you.
phone call and it completely cut out everything.
Oh
like
no
my
no no
audio.
no worries, no worries. You're good, man.
Genuinely
Yeah, no,
didn't
okay,
realise
yeah.
that.
All right, okay.
Praying they don't call again. I probably should have sent a text.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Joe can cut bits out and change bits. Don't worry, it's all fine. It's all good. The magic.
Thank
the
you, man.
magic.
I'm my bad.
No, you're all good, bro. But no, man. As I was saying, it's incredibly, man. It's incredibly inspiring to see where you've came from to where you are now in your gym process. Like you said, right now you're not feeling the best because obviously you've gained a little bit of weight. You're not at the gym at the minute because you're arm man. But dude, you'll bounce right fucking back, bro. If you can get to where you
100%.
were, 170 pounds, lighter, and drop yourself down and gain all this muscle, man, dude, that's incredible, man. It
Thank
really
you,
is,
man.
dude, and it's a night and day difference, bro. You 100% that needs to be acknowledged, man. Like for me, at the minute, I'm personally getting back to losing weight. I back in what would be 2022 December. I moved away from my father. I was living with him, really shitty situation. Moved away, moved to my mum, started living with her, and I went to the gym for the first time in my life and was like, this is an amazing experience. Because not going to the gym when you go there for the first time, I don't know for everybody else, but for me, I was like, oh gosh,
I
people are gonna be judging
hated
me
the
for
first
how I
time
look,
going.
for
You
what I'm
feel like everyone's
wearing.
staring at you, and
Yeah,
like,
and then you get there and you're like, hey, everybody's here just doing their own thing. Everybody's on their
yeah.
own journey. Like nobody really is
Exactly.
caring about you. Just you do you, man. And like, like if that's all it is, just do your own thing. But the hardest part is getting started and jumping into it.
I was
But
just about to say,
I went there.
Yeah. The
Go ahead.
hardest part is getting to the gym, dude. Once
Yeah,
you're
man.
at the
Yes.
gym, you'll find something to do. The
Yeah, dude,
hardest part is
that's it.
walking in the door.
And
I
getting
definitely
there.
don't go as
Yeah.
much as the two of you, obviously. But when it comes to going, I always find that the commute there is the worst bit. Like right now, I go after work because I'm already out. It's on my train home. I might
You
as
can kind
well.
of jump in.
Going
Yeah.
on a day off is impossible. I hate it. Like to be like, oh, I've got to go, then come back, etc. Do like what a 40-minute walk to the station, take a train, and do that on the way back as well.
It's
It's
a
just
lot.
not
Yeah, no,
worth it. But if I'm already
I-
on the train on the way out, it's fine.
But the thing is, once you get into it, it's an amazing, it's a genuine thing that you start to love. Like you start to look at the gym as almost like home in a sense. Like it's a comfy place. You go there and you're like, I know this place. This is where I'm comfy. I'm cool here. But it's hard
I
to
get that.
there
I
and
mean,
get
like
started.
I enjoy the workout, and I use it to swim as well because I love swimming as well as an exercise. So I'll go there for that. It is just the getting there. I don't mind
Yeah.
being there. If I could teleport there, I'd be there every day.
Exactly.
But-
now, if we're rich with at-home gyms,
Yeah,
I know.
that would
honestly,
be
I don't-
bliss. But
I don't think I'd prefer to work out at home. There's something about
I
like
definitely would.
No, I think that I don't know if Trey was going to say that there is something about like being around other people working out that's kind of nice because it makes you feel like you're part of a kind of a group. You know what I mean? In a
Yeah,
sense,
like it's like
you
a
feel
like a
you're
club, you know?
yeah,
Like
yeah. You feel
would you
healthier
like a
being like
baseball
that.
club at your house? I don't know. Maybe this does come down to like
Yeah,
a
but
certain
I'll be the
person,
only
you know?
person
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
club. So
Yeah, that's true.
I hope.
But no, I started going to the gym 2023 early-ish, got into it and was loving it for like about 5 or 6 months. I was building muscle, I was feeling good. I was kind of like, yo, I feel strong, which like yourself, it's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
feeling that. And I was cutting my weight a little bit. I got down to I'm 5'9", so I got into 170 pounds, which was like
You're
the
5'9",
lowest.
Joe?
I thought I was 6 foot for years. I
Dude,
got
I'm
my
gonna
height
be
checked,
100% right. I thought you're
bro.
like 6'3", dude.
I thought I was, man. I swear, but honestly, bro, this is a
There
genuine
is
stuff
no
told
way
on
I've
stream.
only just learned that.
Put that
because
to
you've
highlight, man.
always told
Put
me you're
that
6
to
foot.
highlight.
No.
Title,
Right.
Joe's
For
5'9".
years,
Yeah.
as a small slight tangent, for years I've always thought I was 6 foot tall because my mother, my dad was always, I thought, 5'11", a little bit of a smaller guy. My mum was a little bit smaller than him, about 5'9", 5'10". That was me. I always was convinced I was 6 foot tall, and then I met my girlfriend for the first time, and she's 5 foot like 8, and I was a teeny bit taller, and she was like, "You're not. There's no way you're fucking 6 foot." You know what I mean? Like there's a difference from 5'8" to
I'm
fucking 6 foot. And I
I'm
met her, and I
actually
was like,
so
"Oh shit."
happy I'm the taller Joe.
Yeah,
I'm
well, that's
so
yeah,
happy about
that's
that.
it.
Yeah.
But no, so I'm 5'9", and I got into 170, which was looking good. I didn't have abs or anything, but I was leaner and I felt good. I was like I felt energy, I felt healthy, I felt good. And then my auntie passed away, who was where I was living with her. That was where my old setup was, my old office and stuff. She passed away, unfortunately. And
I'm
for
sorry.
me, I don't know about you, Trey. Like I for anybody here, right? I know Joe has the odd drink and stuff like that. I don't smoke. I don't take any substances. I don't drink. I'm not against anybody who does to some extent, as long as it doesn't harm another person. It's in moderation, each to their own. I've got nothing against it. But for me, my vice has always been food. I love ice cream. Ben and Jerry's ice cream is my fucking, that and
That's
Doritos
the
are my
shit.
thing.
Yeah.
Bro,
I feel like Ben
July,
and Jerry's has
June,
been your downfall about 6
no, it
times
has.
throughout your life.
Dude, genuinely, June, July of 2023, I started getting big into like kind of sweet tooth. It was summer. It was, oh, it's warm. I'm going to get some ice cream. I started eating a tub, then 2 tubs of ice cream a day. And that's 1,000 calories per tub. And then it was like, dude, I checked, my store does like a recap of how much you spent that year on certain things, and bottles of water and stuff. I'd bought like 100 of them. Tubs of ice cream, I bought like 200 in that year. By like in the 6 month
Holy
period,
shit.
I ballooned from 170 up to this was at my highest more recently, 236, which is a fucking big jump, 60 pounds. And you notice it, of course. You know, you go, oh, these clothes are getting a bit tighter. You know, no longer medium. Now I'm in large. Now I'm in extra large. And it's
Yeah,
like, fuck,
yeah.
man. And then all of a sudden it gets to that point where you're like, dude, I feel terrible. I feel like I look terrible. I need to get back to it, but I don't have the motivation to start. Stopped and started, stopped and started, stopped and started. And then more recently, just literally in the past 2 months, this is the end of my second month, I've got back into hitting the gym. And I just do cardio. That's what I love. I love walking and not running per se. Running I fucking despise. It
Yeah.
kills my joints. Like, that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's nothing worse, bro. There's nothing worse. So I do
Yeah.
incline walking, and that's helped me drop literally 30 pounds in 2 months, which is fucking like a huge drop. But I'm still cutting strength about it. I'm trying to chase my former self, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, like what I was trying to say there was like the whole thing is that getting to the gym and getting started is the hardest part. And when you see other people who are doing it and stuff like that, it hopefully can help motivate a lot of people as well to get going. And I love that about your Instagram, man, because you see you, dude, as someone who has came so far. And yeah, it hasn't been an overnight thing, like you said. It would be great if you could just take a magic pill one day, or go to the gym one day and the next day you're jacked. But that's not the truth. Reality-wise, you've spent years now conditioning yourself and working on your body and making yourself into the machine that you are at the minute, bro. And you are, bro. You're a tank, man. I see the fucking videos you be posting on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, this fucking guy, look at this, like, fucking like this, man. Man is jacked. You know what I'm saying, bro? You look fucking insane, man. You know what I'm saying? It looks
Thank you, man.
amazing, bro.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm
And
dead ass.
honestly, a lot of people, that page is like, it's also my personal page, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, of
really
course.
try to motivate. I really try to,
No,
because
dude, and you
that
do,
was a
man.
huge thing for me as well. Like there's a huge YouTube channel, I'm not sure if you know him. His name's Obese to Beast. He
Right.
went on the Ellen show, and he has a YouTube channel, he has an Instagram, and he makes like fitness content. And all these people that were hugely obese that go down to fitness, they really inspired me, you know, like to know, because a lot of, dude, when you're in this space, there's a lot of people in the comments too, like, I'd rather be extremely big than skinny because I don't want all the loose skin. Like a lot of people that are extremely overweight don't,
Yeah.
literally are using an excuse of loose skin to not get
Yeah, not to
skinnier,
get
not to get fit.
healthier. Yeah.
And there's a whole niche out there, a whole group where like it's okay, like, you know, it's worth it. You add 20 years
Yeah.
on your life and stuff.
Dude, it is mad. I've heard about this. There's people that I forget the name of it, but there's a term where like it's kind of they're kind of almost like promoting being obese or overweight and stuff, and it's like, listen, we shouldn't body shame people. Like, listen, being overweight
Yes, we
sucks. Like,
should.
I used to have friends, and Trey, I don't know if you've ever
Assault
worked for this yourself, I
everyone who's
presume,
different.
but like I had friends that make jokes, oh, you fucking, the fat guy in the group or whatever, because I was always chubby from my teen years and
Yeah.
stuff onwards, and always a bit fat. And it's horrible because it's like, yeah, I'm aware. Like, listen, if anybody is fat, they know they're fucking a bit fat. They know they've got weight and it sucks. But like, we shouldn't be promoting it as like a body positivity as like that's a great thing either. And someone,
It shouldn't be the norm because it's
no,
literally unhealthy. Like that's
no, man, yeah,
it's actually almost like you're concerned for them.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah, dude,
because
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
are you okay? Like, this would affect your livelihood and the way you
Yeah,
are.
well, no,
Like,
dude, of course. I mean, like that's the thing. I mean, it's genuinely for your own health. Being a little bit overweight's one thing, but when you are in BMI wise, when you're in the term of being obese, it's dangerous. You need to get a grip of that kind of thing. And loose
Exactly.
skin sucks. Like, hey, like listen, anybody who's experienced it, dealt with it, knows that it's not exactly ideal. It's a bummer. Go
I
on,
went
sorry.
to a doctor's appointment and I talked to a plastic surgeon, and I was hoping like that I had enough loose skin that it would be covered through insurance, right?
Right.
Well, I'm at Kaiser, which is the most important, and it is one of the best health coverages in America. And they told me my loose skin has to be hanging, like my chest loose skin has to be hanging below my belly button for it to be covered.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I have about 3-4 inches of loose skin just like dangling. Like, your nipple's
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be right
Yeah.
here.
Of
It's
course, yeah.
down here, but they're saying that's not enough. And which is insane, dude. Like that
Dude,
moment, like I
that's
honestly
mad.
almost felt like crying because they're saying like all this work I put in, all this, this drive, this all the work I put in, you're
Everything.
saying it's not enough. So yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, especially with my arm and that about America's healthcare system.
Oh, dude, I can imagine.
Insane,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Because
man.
they want over $18,000 to do my whole chest, not my arms or my legs, just my chest and my belly.
Really?
And it's like, it's fine though, dude. It's not ruining my life. It's not
No,
giving me
man,
any
dude,
deters or
no,
anything.
man, no, man.
Yeah,
If like, at the end of the day, bro, like as much as loose skin does suck. Like for me, the minute I'm cutting, as I said, and I'm kind of worried a little bit because I'm cutting very quickly. They say that if you lose weight very drastically, very quickly, the same way when you put it on stretch marks, when you lose it, you can get, of course, obviously lose skin. I'm a bit kind of concerned about it, but that's why I need to start weightlifting as I'm losing weight as well, especially kind of try and build that muscle, especially more like the tit kind of area, breast kind of thing.
yeah,
But like, and no, but that's what it is. Essentially, it's your pecs, obviously. But like in general.
exactly.
But like when it comes down to it, dude, like loose skin, yeah, it's gonna suck. It's a bit of a bastard, but you much rather have a bit loose skin and have an extra 20 years added onto your life and be able to be like
Exactly.
you're
And you
in
actually
control of
enjoy
what you do.
yourself and
Exactly,
be
bro. You
able
know
to
what I'm saying
run,
now?
be able to,
Like, dude, I don't know your personal life, obviously, in terms like I'm not with you, for example, IRL,
Yeah.
right? But I can imagine right now you're in such a better place personally, obviously, aside from the arm,
Way
right? Aside
better,
from
yeah.
the arm.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
when it comes down to, your girlfriend, your friends, your general personal lives, it's so
Yeah.
much better. I mean, the old you would have killed to have what you have right now currently.
Exactly. And
Which
dreamt for it. Yeah.
exactly, bro. You know what I mean, man? And health wise as well, bro. You're so much healthier, bro. Infinitely healthier, bro. You know what I'm saying in that
It used
regard.
to hurt to walk. Yeah.
Dude,
Like
and
actually,
that's
after a
yeah,
long
man.
time. Yeah.
It's a rough fucking thing, man. You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah.
So it is incredible how far you've come in terms of your weight
Now,
loss, man. And I think your Instagram's great for that, for pointing out and seeing that. That's by Joe. And it says now to switch gears a little, I think it's time we move away from talking about your online life to talk about your real life, which again, we're going to go back to your online life for just a quick second after this one. But yeah, undoubtedly one of the biggest things to happen in your real life has been your incredible physical transformation. Back in December 2019, you weighed at your heaviest 372 pounds. And by October 2023, you weighed at your lowest at 200 pounds, meaning you had lost a staggering 172 pounds, which again is a phenomenal amount of weight, of course, to lose, regardless of the amount of time it took. I
my
know
lightest
some
was
of
198. No kidding.
Well, yeah,
198.
let me just correct that there. You were saying. I know with some of your more recent Instagram stories regarding your gym journey, you've officially stopped weighing yourself and you're now focusing on heavy lifting. But I was wondering if you could tell us about your journey from 372, which again we just talked about, to where you are today. And what was the moment you realized you had to change or something had to change? I guess we didn't really touch on that, but. Yeah, when was the
Well,
moment in terms of like when you were, your heaviest at 370 that you felt like it's time, like I really need to
yeah.
change?
Well, during COVID, I mean, I've always been a big person, don't get me wrong. I was probably like 340, 350, but during COVID, numbers are going back up, like minimizing the even small steps I was even taking. And I got up to 372. And I remember just looking in the mirror and not, dude. Like when you're at that big of a point, you just kind of avoid the mirror. I mean, at least in my perspective.
Oh.
Some people have body positivity and stuff, but like me personally, I avoided the mirror. When I take a shower, I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't look at my own reflection. I wouldn't look at my outfit after I put it on. I wouldn't look at the mirror because I wasn't happy with myself. And like I said, I've always wanted to lose the weight, but had so many failed attempts, you know. So I would do. Oh, you'll love this one. I'll get to it. But uh, I always want to lose the weight, and I'll put on like a sauna suit and I'll go on a run and I'll lose the motivation. But like what we kind of touched on earlier was getting the gym membership with my friends. And I realized, fuck it. If I can't lose the weight, if I can't do this, I'm just going to get ripped as fuck. I'm just going to get huge, dude, and
Just
just
jacked.
buff, you know, just use it to my advantage, you know, because, you know, there's big boy strength. So what my goal was to get as big as possible, and then once I start getting muscle, I'm like, okay, I actually want to start to see it. So let me. I don't like cardio, or I like it better now, but at the time I didn't. So what can I fix? Okay, so I can eat a lot of food, but it just has to be low in calories. So I can fuck up as much tuna cans as I want, and that's what I was doing. So I'm over here eating 5 cans of tuna, and that's only 1,000 calories, and it's
Wow.
150 grams of protein, and no, way more. If it's 20 grams of protein per, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, 100,
Like
yeah.
it's starting like to dial down on the things where like, okay, let me control what I can that's easier, which would be the diet, which, you know, for a bigger person that usually would be harder, but I have certain protein foods that are good for its amount of calories. So
Yeah.
that moment of, okay, I'm just re-explaining myself now, but yeah, so dieting down on the food and then lifting weight heavy in the gym, and then once I actually realized I was losing weight because of my diet of eating tuna, I started implementing fasting where I could only eat certain hours of the day. The weight just started falling off, and then I had that goal where this is when I was still really big and I was had muscle, and then I wanted to lose weight. My goal, and I still have the same exact picture on my phone, is to look like the Brick from Borderlands. I just,
Dude,
dude, a hundred
yes, bro.
percent. I
I've got the
wanted to look
hairline.
like
I'm.
Brick.
That's the goal, bro. That is the goal.
No, you
Yes,
do. You do have the
dude. I do,
haircut.
man. And even the hair, bro. At the minute, you know what I'm saying, bro. I have.
Hey,
I'm on the
slab.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the goal.
Understandable. Well, listen, Trey, I know you got to go on, man. I'm going to end it here, right? Just saying, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Thank you, man.
4 years, 5 years almost into, of course, our journey, of course, all of us. It's been lovely having you here, man. You've been an amazing guest. Anybody who hasn't already checked out Trey's channel will be, of course, linked down below. Excuse me, Trey.
And my
I hope that
Instagram.
I enjoy
That's
Instagram,
probably
of
where I'm
course, as
most
well.
active.
Of
And where I'm
course,
public.
100%.
That's a
Trey, thank
great
you so much
pun.
for
Don't know if
joining
you
us,
intended
man.
it.
I hope that life keeps getting better for you, bro, honestly, man. And I hope once the arm, of course, is all good and all back to normal, you'll be right back in the gym, killing it, bro, and keep being an inspiration for peeps like myself and other members of our community, man, because you really are, dude. Much
Thank
love
you,
to you,
man.
my man. Thank you for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the 59th episode of the Forgotten Podcast. I'm Catmanjoe. That's MaskedCynic. And down there, of course, right there is Mr. Trey, of course. Go check us all if you guys want in the description. And thank you all so much for watching.